Hi guys, Billy back, and this time we're looking at the Iron Man Mark 21 by Hot Toys, basically the Midas figure. Now this is a take on the Mark 7, I believe. It's pretty much the Mark 7, except it's all in gold, and it was designed and created for high altitude flight, I think, by Tony Stark. There's a whole back history behind it, but you never get to see any of that. You get to see it for maybe like 10 seconds on screen at the end of Iron Man 3. It's always popped up in Iron Man collections and it's always interested me. Luckily, Zavvi were having a sale on a few figures. I think they had the Whiplash figure for £150, which if you got that, because I already had it so I didn't need to buy it again, you got a fantastic deal. And they also had this guy up on sale for $250. And I'm going to see now if it was actually worth $250 or if I actually stole this off them and got an absolute bargain. It's absolutely ostentatious looking, isn't he? It's really bright gold. He's got these lovely rose gold accents here, this really nice chrome gold. He's also got some titanium silver accents going throughout, especially like all the details in here. It really highlights all the different pieces and detailing that Hot Toys do. This was never something I was planning to pick up, but now that I have him and he's sitting here on my shelf, I can't stop looking at it. It really does look great. So not only does he look really great in terms of all the rose golds and the chrome golds and stuff like that, but they've also given him different finishes, from satin finishes to gloss finishes. This guy is absolutely chock full of detail. And yes, it's just a simple take on the Mark 7 suit. It's just basically a repaint. And if you have the Mark 7, I still think that's one of the best figures that Hot Toys have ever made. Just with the detailing, the paint application, all the accessories and whatnot. But also this guy is a really nice repaint of the Mark 7. It's just, I'm not entirely sure that it warranted the price point that it came out with. Because if you remember, the Mark 7 came with battle damage pieces and pod pieces and all sorts of different bits, and it really was like their flagship, like this is the Iron Man 7 everybody wanted, and they did an absolute stellar job. Whereas this guy, they held back on him. He doesn't come with any pod pieces. He does come with the basic sort of accessories you think he would come with. He comes with the rocket shoulder pieces. He comes with 4 extra hands. We'll say 6 hands in total, but 4 extra hands, including the articulated finger hands here. And you can see they're really, really nice looking. Oh, look at that rose gold on that normal sort of satin gold finish. It's really, really nice. He also comes with these additional rocket forearms, and he also comes with the rocket loaded thigh pieces opening up and things like that. No light up feature in the base though. This really annoys me. They used this with the DX09, I think, or was it DX08? It started with the Batman figures, and it has this sort of light up feature here that used to shine spotlights up into the figure, and they did away with that, but they've kept these bits here so you can move them around and stuff. They're like LED lights and whatnot, but there's no lighting in there, so it's quite frustrating that they keep doing that. If you're gonna give us this base, give us all the features in it, including the light up pieces and whatnot. That's what that base was designed for. If you weren't going to give us those bits, then why use this base in the first place? So when this guy was released, I think they were asking for $20 less than the Mark 7 set, which is a lot. So there wasn't much difference in the price point, but they were giving you a lot less with this guy. So I can see why people were just a little bit like, why would I pick this up? Why would I buy this above the Mark 7? Because I think this was like $420 or $400 when it first came out. And it was a straight no for me. I was like, no, it's not worth that. I'm not paying that. When we're talking in pounds, we're talking after shipping and taxes and stuff like that, you were looking at about 400 quid. That's nuts. Unless of course this gold really is your like, this is the Iron Man figure I always wanted. But if you had a choice between the Mark 7 or the Midas, there was no contest. The Mark 7 won out over this. But what I really like about this one as well is that, again, with this new Mark 7, they've given us the arc reactor and there's some white behind there, so it looks a little bit more brighter. And it's the same with the eyes. It does look like there's a little bit more life in that helmet now that there's actually got some white behind the eyes. For me, that's the right price point for this guy. I felt comfortable paying $250. I really like it for $250. I think it's great. However, if somebody was telling me that I bought this for, nearly 400 quid, I would be a bit more like, I don't know if I could stretch to that. It's a little bit too rich for my blood. So the fact that this guy is going on sale in places now means that a lot more people are going to pick him up. He's going to be showing up in a lot more collections, because this really is the definitive Midas. Honestly, now that I have him in hand though, I see where the hype is. This really is a standout piece. My eye keeps being drawn to him. He's so ostentatious that I genuinely feel this guy could go anywhere in your house. He could go in between the china plates in your cupboard in the living room. He could go anywhere in the house and people will be like, oh, that's fancy. And yeah, that's probably what I would say. This guy is really fancy. I mean, those rose golds and that chrome gold mix really does sort of make all the pieces on this pop and shows off the engineering and the work that Hot Toys have done. If you can get like him on a revolving turntable somewhere in your house and it's always on and always turning, then yeah, this is one of those ones that I think a lot of people, they've slept on, but because he's going up on sale in certain places now, I think a few more people will pick him up quite comfortably because at the price point I picked him up at. But for me, $250, bang on, he looks great. But yeah, I mean, I could have done a whole unboxing and review and whatnot of this guy, but I felt like there's so many reviews of this guy out there already. There was no need for me to do a big, massive, long video of all the reviews and whatnot. These are just my thoughts on it now that I've picked it up, and I'm really looking forward to getting some more figures because there's a bit of a dry spot when it comes to collecting at the moment. Hot Toys aren't releasing a lot. I know they've just dropped the Batman, but other than that, there's not a lot coming out. A hell of a lot of the third-party factories have been shut down for a while because of all the outbreaks and whatnot, so things have backlogged up and we're probably going to get like 2, 3, maybe even 4-year waits for certain things now. So hopefully that starts to be remedied soon. But honestly, I would rather that they took the time and got the figures right and released them very slowly rather than rush them out and they actually all be crappy. Because the last thing we need now is more crappy figures. You should definitely jump on it because when you unbox him and you take a look and you put him on your shelf, I promise you, you're going to just keep staring at it because it looks just, I hate to use the word pimp, but it looks so pimp. It's really good. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. If you do me a favour now, if you can get the fuck out of my cave, I've got to go up in the attic and put all these boxes away. Reorganise it up there because it's like a box graveyard at the moment. Thanks a lot guys. Bye bye.